Today I'm working on a 1973 Ford LN600. That's this big box truck that's behind me here. Now this truck has actually been sitting, well, it was sitting in the trees back behind my house, according to the neighbor, for over 20 years. What we ran into was that the fuel tanks actually filled up with, I actually think it's the fuel that just solidified. So there was just this big layer of thick mud that was in the bottom of the tanks. And I went through several different methods of trying to clean it. Nothing really worked, so I decided that I was just going to go ahead and put gas in it and try to get it to go. And the gas actually ended up being what worked. So I'm going to clip together some videos here, basically from up to 6 or 8 months ago up until today, when I've got it as clean as it's going to get for now, and I think it's going to continue to clean as I run fuel through it. So I'll just put some extra filters on the fuel lines. So stay tuned, we'll get this video clip together and you'll see what the process was, what I went through and what ended up working and how well it worked. So this is the tank I'm working on. It came off of a 73 Ford LN600 box truck. And that's all rust and crud that's down inside there. It's pretty nasty. I followed a Facebook suggestion or YouTube suggestion that said that I should try a toilet bowl cleaner. Well, I've soaked that for about 3 weeks now, and 3 different times filling it with new cleaner, and have not gotten very good results at all. That's pretty junky still. So I've got a little bit of water left down in there. My next step is to try muriatic acid. So I'll pour that in and show you the results. The acid is in, and you can see the fumes that it's putting off. I've kept my head pretty far back because I know this stuff chokes you up pretty bad if you breathe it in, so I've kept my distance as I poured it in. About half a gallon probably is what I've poured in so far. We'll see how that works. I'll give it maybe an hour and come back and check it. Okay, so it's been a half an hour. Just came up to check on it. It's not looking a whole lot better. I'm going to go ahead and let it keep soaking, go the full hour, and then I'm going to bring a scraper and a wire brush to it. Okay, so it's been an hour, and I don't believe we've really gotten very far. Try scraping on it and scrub it with a wire brush and a putty knife and see if that does anything. So I pulled the drain plug out. I've scraped on this with a putty knife. I've scraped on it with a wire brush. And this is what I've still got. So this is a continuation of the video trying to clean out this gas tank. I kind of came to the conclusion that since muriatic acid wouldn't clean it, that the gas probably wasn't going to affect it much either. However, I was wrong. So I put gas in and it started breaking down the junk in the bottom of this tank. So you can actually see how thick that is there. What I'm doing now is scraping with a scraper. I've got probably about 2 gallons of gas in the bottom of the tank, and this looks like it's going to be the way to clean this out, so hopefully this will help somebody out in the future. Cleaning out a gas tank from a truck that's been sitting and the gas basically turned into a solid in the bottom of the tank. And this is what it looks like that I'm pulling out of the tank. That's just one scoop that I just got from right there. Well, I've got everything about edited together. To kind of recap everything, I started thinking that this was rust in the bottom of the tank, and after I came to the end of the video series here, it turned out to be that that was actually just the way that dried fuel looks, I guess. So this is what the stuff looked like that I pulled out. As you can see, it looks a lot like rust once it dries. It was pretty thick and muddy feeling as it came out of the tank, so it was just a sludge in the bottom of the tank, and I believe that it was actually just solidified fuel. And for all of those of you who are going to be on me about not wearing gloves, I was actually trying to wear gloves and they got eaten by the fuel. So yeah, probably just need better gloves. I would recommend it, but some of my videos you're going to see that I didn't have gloves on. And finally, this is what we've got with the gas tank once it was finished, or to the point that it is now. Quite a bit cleaner. Still not perfect, but I think I'm going to be able to try and run it. And just put extra fuel filters on the fuel lines of the truck. So if you have any better options for cleaning out a gas tank like this, feel free to give suggestions. I looked on YouTube and all I found were the methods that didn't work at all for me. So this is just my experience. Yeah, I can see that the gas tank is not perfect, and I hope that it'll actually end up better without messing up a bunch of fuel lines or pumps or whatever. But this is what I came up with, and just sharing my experience. And like I said, if you have a better recommendation, I'd love to see it.